In these final hours, I am compelled to deliver a message, not of my own making, but one that has been placed upon my heart with urgency. A divine appointment awaits the remnant, the chosen ones who have ears to hear what the Spirit is saying to this generation. Friends, we stand at a critical threshold in human history. The ancient timelines are converging, the cosmic markers have aligned. What generations have longed to witness is now upon us. May 8th, 2025 marks not merely another date on our calendars, but a pivotal moment in the divine timeline, a moment of separation, preparation, and awakening. Throughout history, the Almighty has operated according to precise timings. The ancient feasts, the Jubilee cycles, the prophetic markers, all pointing to specific moments when heaven touches earth. May 8th represents such a moment, a divine appointment for the remnant. Who are the chosen ones? They are not defined by denomination or religious affiliation. They are identified by their hearts, those who have maintained their first love, who have not compromised with the spirit of this age, who have remained vigilant while others have slumbered. The pattern is unmistakable. Before every major move of heaven, there comes a separation, a calling out of those who will stand apart. Just as in ancient days when a remnant was preserved through catastrophe and chaos, so now a remnant is being identified, marked not with physical signs but with spiritual seals. What awaits the chosen on May 8th? Not a physical rapture, as some have speculated, but something perhaps more profound, a spiritual elevation. The veils that have clouded spiritual perception will be dramatically lifted for those who have prepared themselves. While the world continues in its ways, the chosen will experience a supernatural awakening of discernment and authority. This awakening carries both privilege and responsibility. Those who experience it will find themselves able to see what others cannot see, to understand what others cannot comprehend. The mysteries that have remained sealed will suddenly become clear. The symbolic languages of heaven will become decipherable to those whose spiritual senses have been sharpened through obedience and devotion. But make no mistake, this awakening comes with profound responsibility. It is not for personal elevation, but for kingdom advancement. Those who receive this gift of heightened spiritual perception will be called to use it in service, to guide others through the intensifying darkness that precedes the dawn. For generations, believers have sensed that they were born for a specific moment in history. Many of you listening today have carried this knowing in your spirit that your existence in this precise generation was not accidental, but appointed. May 8th marks the activation of that divine purpose, the moment when the seemingly random threads of your life experiences suddenly reveal their pattern and purpose. This awakening will manifest in several distinct ways. First, there will come a supernatural unity among the chosen, transcending denominational barriers, cultural differences, and theological distinctions. This unity will not be manufactured through compromise, but forged through shared spiritual perception. Second, there will be an unprecedented authority in intercession. The prayers of the chosen will carry a weight and precision they have not previously experienced. They will pray with heaven's perspective, with strategic insight that cuts through confusion. Third, there will emerge an authentication of the chosen through signs that follow, not for spectacle or validation from the world, but as heaven's confirmation of their mission and message. But this awakening comes in the context of intensifying contrast. As light increases upon the remnant, darkness deepens elsewhere. The separation between opposing spiritual kingdoms becomes increasingly stark. The middle ground disappears. This polarization serves divine purposes, revealing what has remained hidden, bringing to the surface what has operated in secret. Consider the pattern throughout redemptive history. Before every significant divine intervention, there comes a period of preparation, purification, and positioning. Noah experienced this before the flood. Moses experienced this before the Exodus. The early believers experienced this before Pentecost. We now stand in such a moment. The chosen ones must understand, May 8th is not the culmination but the commencement. It marks not an ending but a beginning. What follows will demand everything from those who receive this awakening. The increased spiritual capacity brings increased spiritual responsibility. Some ask, how do I know if I am among the chosen? The very asking of this question reflects the stirring of your spirit. The chosen ones are not marked by perfection, but by hunger, an insatiable desire for authenticity, for depth, for unfiltered truth. They are recognized by their dissatisfaction with religious performance, with spiritual compromise, with the diluted message that passes for faith in our time. The preparation for May 8th is intensely personal. It involves returning to ancient practices, solitude, fasting, deep contemplation of eternal truths, separation from the noise and distraction of our age. The chosen ones understand intuitively that mainstream cultural Christianity has become too accommodating to the very systems it was meant to transform. What we witness now in the world, the acceleration of events, the shaking of institutions once thought unshakable, the exposure of what was hidden, the increasing inability of human systems to solve mounting crises. These are not random occurrences, but prophetic signposts. They create the context for what will unfold beginning May 8th. The chosen ones must prepare their vessels. When the divine outpouring begins, it will flow according to capacity. Those who have created space through surrender, who have strengthened their spiritual constitutions through discipline, who have aligned themselves with eternal purposes through obedience, these will experience the fullness of what heaven intends. This awakening carries echoes of ancient patterns. Just as the early believers experienced supernatural enabling at Pentecost, the chosen will receive enhanced spiritual capacities, not for self-glorification but for the final harvest, for the ingathering that precedes the return of the Messiah. The world will not recognize what is happening among the chosen. To external observation, nothing remarkable may appear to be taking place. But in the unseen realm, a transfer of authority will be underway. The activation of dormant spiritual gifts, the unlocking of sealed prophetic insights, the alignment of the chosen with heaven's final strategic movements in this age. Some have asked if geographical location matters for May 8th. The answer reflects the nature of this awakening. It transcends physical placement. Whether in crowded cities or remote wilderness, whether gathered in communities or standing alone, the chosen will experience this awakening according to divine orchestration. The counterfeit always precedes the authentic. Before May 8th, expect increased spiritual confusion, deceptive manifestations, and distracting spectacles. These serve as tests of discernment, separating those who pursue experience from those who pursue truth regardless of experience. The chosen must guard against both premature announcement and complete silence. Wisdom dictates sharing with those prepared to receive while protecting the sacred from those who would trample its significance. As we approach this threshold, let each person examine their spiritual readiness, not through comparison with others, but through honest assessment before the one who sees all. The awakening of May 8th is not earned through religious performance, but received through authentic spiritual positioning. The hour demands sobriety, yet celebration, vigilance, yet peace, separation from the world's systems, yet compassionate engagement with those trapped within them. This paradoxical stance becomes possible only for those who have settled their primary identity as citizens of another kingdom. The countdown to May 8th is underway. For the chosen, these remaining days represent the final opportunity for preparation, for setting in order what remains disordered, for releasing what must be released, for embracing what must be embraced. Remember, what awakens on May 8th culminates in the return of the King. What begins as a whisper among the remnant concludes as a declaration to all creation. The chosen of May 8th serve as forerunners, as waymakers, as those who prepare the path for the ultimate revelation. The message concludes with this assurance: though the path ahead involves both glory and suffering, both divine elevation and sacrificial service, those who remain faithful will witness the fulfillment of all that has been promised. The awakening of May 8th serves as the divine guarantee that we approach the culmination of the age and the restoration of all things.